Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2020 supernatural drama Voices, a film that is co-written and directed by Nathaniel Nguyen, and it stars Valerie Jane Parker, Ashley Bell, Jordan Ladd, Leslie Eastbrook and Chris de Blasio. Now this film focuses on a young woman who loses her sight at a young age. She's now a psychiatrist, and she is also in a long-term relationship, a very loving relationship, and she, as we learn early in the film, that she's now expecting a baby as well. However, she is also sensitive to the other side, and she can hear spirits from beyond who visit her, and some of them even pester her. And she is informed by one of her patients, who's a medium, that the spirits are very keenly interested in her because she is pregnant, and they have a keen interest in her unborn child. And the film then generates itself around that, and also the story of a missing child many years previously. Right, okay, what are my thoughts on Voices? Well, I'll be honest, I actually thought this was a pretty nicely structured film. It's reasonably tame. It's not a fright fest or anything like that. There are some creepy moments in it and some stirring imagery, I suppose. And the director has a very a distinct style. There is some quite beautiful cinematography at times. The film looks great. Some of the imagery is, like I say, visually very interesting. And the performances, for the most part, for all the central characters, were absolutely fine. I think the pacing will bother a lot of people, and I say this a lot. I mean, it didn't really bother me. I don't mind slow burn films and slow paced films, but there are some that will watch this that won't have the patience for it, and will just blasé put like a 1 out of 10 on IMDb because of the pace, or because it's not, they haven't jam-packed it full of ridiculous jump scares and things like that. It's actually one of those films that, yes, it's not perfect, has definitely got faults. Pacing is one of them. There's a lot of flashbacks. It follows her life from a child to like a teenager and then a young woman, and we keep getting lots of flashbacks to her as a child and a teenager, and at least half of those flashbacks I didn't think were required. There was too many. I think they could have shaved at least 15-20 minutes off this film, and it helps the pacing of it, I think. So I think some of those flashbacks didn't really help. Some of them were definitely important in regards to the missing child storyline, and some of them, they just kept pushing that message that yes, you can hear spirits. We get that, we got that fairly early on in the film. They didn't need to keep pressing that message home. There's a distinct Sixth Sense vibe to the film, but also as well, there's too. He's trying to spin too many plates. There's too many storylines going off at once. You've got this relationship drama stuff going on, this pregnancy thing. You've got this medium that's trying to press her beliefs onto her in regards to these spirits in her child who she's lost. You've got this missing child from years previously that she keeps hearing, who she thinks is real, that is connected to an abduction many years previously. And then you've got these spirits as well that keep pestering her. There's almost like too much going on, and it feels quite messy in a number of places, the film. But it's also, it gives you a good resolution at the end. I think so, anyway. They're almost like a lot of puzzle pieces floating about, and by the end of the film, the majority of them kind of slip into place in the jigsaw puzzle. And the film does eventually, I guess, end up making sense. But from my perspective, they could have easily, I think, edited down another 15-20 minutes off the film to help with the pace. And maybe, help with the narrative in regards to how some of the stories played out, if like the storylines in the film. Leslie Eastbrook, who, if that name sounds familiar, she's from the Police Academy film. She's only in it fairly briefly. We also get the actress from The Last Exorcism in it as well. But I think the central performance here, I think it's Valerie Jane Parker who played Lily. I thought was the standout performance here. I think she did really, really well. It's never easy to play a blind person in a film and to do it convincingly, and they have to do it 3 times here. Like I say, you've got the child doing it, you've got the teenager doing it, and you've got the young woman doing it. So you've got 3 different actresses doing it to varying levels of success, I think. There's a drowning scene in one of the flashbacks that I thought was fairly poorly done, and it was a bit, I don't know, pretentious and that sort of thing. She literally kind of stumbles into the water and someone knocks the boat, and then she's immediately in drowning mode. Literally, there was other people in the boats. Someone could have dived in very, very quickly and just grabbed her. That I didn't buy that scene at all. Some of the actors in the lesser parts, the performances didn't really help. I can't really pinpoint anybody, but the main thing is the central performances kept me invested in the film. I think that's fair to say. It does get a little bit creepy now and again, but it's not a film that's going to scare you, which is why I described it as a supernatural drama. I would be hesitant to call this a horror. It's not really scary. But it's more, like I say, more of a supernatural drama. But I did quite appreciate this. I'm actually going to give this one a 6.5 out of 10. I thought it was really quite watchable, but I think the pacing will put a lot of people off, to be perfectly honest. So that's my review for Voices. I hope you liked the review. Thanks for watching, everybody. And of course, I will be back with lots more reviews on the channel very, very soon.